build their equities over a long period of time, over decades. They stay very consistent and they reflect how we meet and serve consumers better. So the tone doesn't really change when technology changes. What we do is we use technology to amplify that, to get better at meeting and serving the needs of consumers better, to meet them when, serve them when they're receptive. So that's what we use digital for, and our brands are very successful at doing that. Big brands like Pampers, for example, we have global platforms that we use. We use that on the web, we use mobile platforms. So it's more about how we leverage technology to continue to magnify and amplify the equity of our brands. We have a wonderful partnership with the Olympic Committee. It's a 10-year partnership that started in Vancouver in 2010 and then has evolved over multiple events. And we're very focused on making sure that Rio in 2016 is as big and better than all the others that we've done. So it is a partnership that is not just a one-off, and it has built over time. The campaign that perhaps you're referring to, the very first one, was the Best Jobs campaign that we then translated into the Pick 'em Up campaign, and the latest version is the Strong campaign. And they all are built on a strong consumer insight. So they're all different. They have similarities, but they also have important differences. And it goes back to how we build our campaigns in a fundamental manner. So in the Strong campaign, which is the latest iteration, we've built it on a very powerful insight that during motherhood, women have even more strength. They develop this superhuman strength to do all of the bigger jobs that they need to do to bring up their children. And so by reflecting that in our campaign, we hope that resonates more. And I think the reality is, in the numbers, all of our campaigns have been among the most watched Olympics videos of all time. So that very much fits with the equity of our company. Mothers are a natural fit with our business model. And so the Thank You Mom advertising that you see is simply a reflection of a broader construct within our company to recognize mothers and women for the strong, wonderful people they are. And I think if you look at our aerial Share the Load campaign, it is again a brilliant example of how we try and build brands in our company, which starts again from a very true insight and then building a creative idea that can be painted across the canvas and then reaching as many consumers as possible in where they are most receptive. You know, the future is always a difficult thing to predict, so I'm not going to try and do that. But I think in the reality that we live in today, there are very important issues that we need to deal with, and as those play out, I think we will realize that those are the ways by which marketing will evolve. The most important one for me is to crack mobile marketing, because it's a very personal device. It's a device that is very different to operate on. And I don't think anyone has managed to crack it yet. And I think it requires us to come together as an industry and to solve it from many angles. It's not just an advertising or a selling tool. It is a very personal brand building tool. And I think that's the first thing we need to crack. The second thing is I think there is a lack of transparency and trust in the industry that has come about because of the advent of some of the ways that digital technologies have been misused. And I think it's very important that we gain that trust and transparency back. So that means that putting the consumer at the center of how we measure and are able to then understand and develop insights. Because that hasn't changed. The fundamentals don't change. True insights leading to great creativity, a creative idea that can be painted across the creative canvas on multiple touch points, so we can reach more consumers when and where they're receptive. So I think those are the two main trends that I would like to see play out. Great mobile brand building and greater transparency and trust in the way that we measure and then build equity platforms for brands.